Welcome to MyMedPix 247. This is a fantastic tool for image capture. Let me show you the login process. I have a current account, so I'll use my current username. That's all it takes to get into the tool. Now we're actually in the cloud. You'll see a series of functionalities in the toolbar here. Messages, which is all about messages you send internally or externally to invite people into the tool, to request access to a provider, or just a quick email chat feature. Upload and share is how you quickly upload from your existing computer to share an image with a provider or somebody in the network that you already have in your account, connected to your account, or outside. View local images is to view the images on the studies. Upload is to upload from, for instance, your hard drive on your current PC or laptop. Institutes are groupings of providers in one handy account. The invite feature is to invite somebody into your account to see images and manage them themselves. Link users is a feature that we use to, say a physician has multiple offices that it serves and they have different passwords and logins and they want to link them all under one name. We can do that. And you can also create groups of users within your own organization, company, or other entity. First of all, there's a study here. I'll open up the head study, and you'll see that it requires a most recent version of Java. I'll open that up for you. I know I have the most recent version of Java, updated today. And it opens the remote eye viewer, which we license from Neologica, and this is so we can see the actual image from anywhere. Okay, so this is the actual MRI scan, it's a head scan of a patient. For purposes of this demo, it's been anonymized, and you can see it kind of loads up pretty quickly depending on how your computer system speed and RAM function. And there are a series of tools here along the toolbar to guide you. If you want to just quickly exit the program, that's where you get out. You could look at the patients and studies. There's a different view that lists all the patients in here since we only have one on this itself. This is where it's displayed. You can save it or export the study itself to a computer, for instance, or to a CD if you like. You can print a copy of it. Here there's a series of functional toolbars to manipulate the image. So for instance, if I want to flip the image on its side several times, I can do that. I can make it flip up and down. I can zoom in to a certain area, zoom out. I can set it back to 100%. I can turn on information about the study itself. You can see this one has been anonymized, so it's confidential, but it has the basic image from, or information from the imaging center that took the image. You can also take it off. I can also play the actual study itself as kind of a movie, if you will, or I can just chapter through it. If I click the movie feature, it'll automatically go through all the slices of the study for you. You can see that. And it'll continue in perpetuity if you let it. Or I can chapter through them to certain areas that I like. And then I can zoom in, or I can chapter to the next one, or zoom out. There's also features to change the thermal scan on it. So if you like a different color signature, if you will, to your liking, you can have some interesting functionality in it. And that's the actual study itself. So I'm going to exit the study from the viewer. And I'm back to the study here. You can see there's a series of drop downs here. I'll function down a little bit so you can see them all. This is to open the DICOM image, which we just did. If you use an iPad device, you can open up the iPad version of this, so the screenshot will look like an iPad. There'll be less functionality in that to manipulate the image, but it actually works very well. Here you can simply share the image with somebody else. You can share it with a new user that's not in the system, or you can share with a current user and type their name in and send the secure link to them. I will come back out of that for purposes of this demo. Excuse me. You could delete the study. You could put a note on it. So for purposes of notes, you might want to send a note with the image to a provider. So for instance, send the report test. This is a test image. And you can save it. And you'll see you have a running scribe of each of your notes. So if you send this along to another provider, this note will be available in the note area or in the message area for them to see. I'll go back to the image. You can show and edit permissions. So if you only want to give somebody access for 24 hours, a month, or unlimited, you can set it here. And you have a history for this particular file, this image. Here is a running audit trail of every activity in terms of viewing the image and putting notes on it and everything else. It's a very handy feature. Here we are. I can send an SMS text. Just enter any mobile phone number twice and hit send, and it'll go to whomever you send it with a permission link. I can email, I can anonymize it to a general file. If it's a patient file of yours and you want to anonymize for some reason, you can do that too. So that's the core functionality of manipulating the images and seeing them. So anybody who has an account can automatically see that. We can set up as an organization an invitation for somebody to come in through the invite function, and then people can set up an account and then automatically see that study. That can happen very quickly. Institutes, as I mentioned, are groups of providers, for instance, and as you can see for this demo, I created one for Objective Diagnostics. And I will open the institute up. So, excuse me. The institute is kind of the umbrella for Objective Diagnostics. So if it wanted to store its own cache of images and share it with multiple providers, they can do it through this umbrella feature. Right now I have a couple of individuals in here from our doctor, founder, Suhail Haddad, and our developer in New York for the tool. You'll have a multiple group listing of users. If you go into, you can use this function to add a user or create a new one. So for instance, if we wanted to add a user at a new provider, we would click on Create New User. And here's the simple login that we have at the beginning of the tool. I'm going to go back to the institute itself. As you can see, we're back to where we started, but we would have created a new user and another name would have shot into the listing here. For terms of studies, so I have one study that I uploaded into the file from my laptop. And if you working with providers that have PACS machines, one of the unique features of our tool at MyMedPix is to have PACS machines and PACS systems automatically upload to our tool. And that can be set up simply by getting a hold of their PACS technician and network administrator and making sure that they have the right port, the right IP address, and have the most recent version of Java, which is required for the tool to work. And there may be some firewall issues with their PACS machines to send images out externally, and those things are easily handled by the technician / IT administrator there, our network administrator, and our technical expert knows exactly how to do this. We do have a subscription that I've set up for Objective Diagnostics. You can see the plan here is for 150 gigabytes of storage, and it's valid for basically a year. If you wanted to upgrade or downgrade the subscription, you can at any time. And user requests are, I haven't had any user requests, but if somebody wants to join the institute, this is a way for them to quickly do that. Institute groups. If you have multiple institutes and you want to group them under one, we can do that. For purposes of this demo, here's the Objective Diagnostics Institute, and you can see that I've simply added Indiana MRI, which is a current provider partner for Objective Diagnostics that has their own institute for their images, and they may want to share with Objective to have access to those images 24/7. So anytime Indiana MRI puts a new image into the their institute tool, it automatically is shared with Objective Diagnostics. This is an easy way for us to quickly share files and save a lot of time for our partners. Okay. That is the full basics of the demo for purposes of today, and if you have questions, feel free to get a hold of me, Steve Bryant, and we'll go from there. Thank you.